At To The Point, we try to strike a chord, but it's only A, not A minor. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in on To The Point with the King. You guys know what to do. Go down there, Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, which is hopefully where you're watching us. Give us a subscribe, give us a like. Thank you all the people out there in Freak Nation that have subscribed and have watched. Don't think I didn't forget about you guys, okay? And thank you for supporting our fantastic guests, especially my man right there, all the way from the East Coast to your home, the coach, Tim Roach. How you doing today, brother?
Doing pretty good, man. Been watching some summer league action. It's amazing to see summer league be as big as it is now compared to what it used to be like 25 years ago. And it really has a big audience to it now. A lot of people go to the games, and I think it'd be kind of cool to go someday.
Yeah, let's get a ticket to Vegas. But speaking of, I'm glad that you're doing good, because you kind of did take an L, my friend, on the last draft episode. I know you went 2 in a row, but it's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to take an L, like the Raps are currently 2-1 in the summer league, right? It's okay. It's okay.
So no, it's all right. Tristan Da Silva was 18,
You were
and
one
Jalen
off.
Tyson was 20. And Jalen Tyson was 20.
Yeah, you were 2 off. You were this close, brother. I saw that and my heart bled for you. But
Man, I was just like, come on, you guys can't give me one.
but you know what? The Raptors did manage to grab 4 draft picks. So we're gonna break this down for you guys, because I know the coach would love to get into this. Now let's go with their first pick, okay? Jacoby Walter. Now, coach, what are your thoughts on Jacoby Walter? Why the Raptors drafted him? Maybe because your boy was already out. But I see you at the board meeting right there. But what do you think what he provides and what he could bring to your Toronto Raptors? Where's he at? Give me a gauge. Give me a pulse.
I think the Raptors chose him because he fell to them, quite honestly. OG fell to them. They didn't expect to draft him. Grady Dick fell to them last year. He was supposed to be like a top 10, top 11 pick, and he fell to 13. I think because they did not work out Jacoby Walter. And usually they like to work out their prospects who are coming in. He never had a workout with them. I think they took the best player available on the board, which is fine. Don't mind that approach at all. And I think
talent,
yeah,
as you say.
talent. Yep. And I think he has a play style that is something that they need. He's a competitor. I like that. Is he the most skilled player in this draft? No. Is he the best player in this draft? No. But I think he has a compete level to him that this team, especially the bench moving forward, kind of needs. And he's only 19 years old. He was in for a good half of the college season. Most mocks had him in the top 10 of the draft. And then he started to slip a little bit as the season went along. I think he was dealing with a couple of injuries, and some of the percentage just dropped a bit. And I think that was one of the reasons why. And they're like, you know what? We've had him mocked at a certain spot in the draft, and we're willing to go with our scouts and trust our big board. I think that's why they took him.
One thing I like about Jacoby Walter is I like the fact that I've been on record saying this, that Gary Trent is expendable for the Toronto Raptors. I've been saying that last season. And he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. Maybe he could fill those shoes, right, at a guard, even though he's still young and still learning. One of the things I love about him is his mama said that they named him Jacoby for Jordan and Kobe. Jacoby. I love that. So welcome to Toronto, Jacoby Walter. I'm already a fan of yours. I don't even need to see you play, just based on that. Okay, but I think what he adds is I think he's gonna make the bench this year. I think he's going to add a little surety in the guard position and maybe fill the roles of Gary Trent, coming behind IQ and Grady, and RJ, like coming behind them off of the bench. I already think he's not a G League player, and I think it was a pretty good pick for the Raptors. And you guys know I do not follow college ball. I only follow who's here in Toronto. Okay. But then the Raptors had the first pick in the second round, which was Jonathan Mogbo.
Mogbo, I think the G silent.
Yeah, I know, but when I read it, I say Mogbo.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with college players, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's get that straight. But what are your thoughts on his acquisition towards the Toronto Raptors organization?
I think he really rose up draft boards over the last month or so, the way that he was probably competing in workouts and in the combine. We already know the relationship with Scotty. I think Scotty says that it's his best friend. And, that's not a bad thing to have your best friend on the team as well. I think there can be some advantages to that, actually, in terms of competing against one another. Maybe there's a comfort level as well. I'm not saying that's the reason, but I do think Mogbo brings a skill set to this team that fits Darko's system, especially on offense. Mogbo this season, he can really pass the basketball out of the high post. He has very good vision, similar to Scotty in some regards. And I think the ball handling has really improved. He has to work on the jump shot, but he's already said that moving forward. And I appreciate that awareness of him. When I see him, I see like a little bit of Naz Reid, maybe that he could develop into. I think that would be like a high end. But he's got more of the passing gift, I think, than Naz Reid has. So I think the Raptors with this pick are more going with, well, for one, do we like the player and does he fit Darko's system offensively? And I think that's a yes for both.
You know what? You said Naz Reid, but when I started doing my research on him, I found him more of like a Draymond type style as an undersized center.
When I said Naz Reid, that's what I was maybe hoping he would get to. I don't know what he's going to be like defensively. Like Draymond's won multiple defensive players of the year. I see your point there, like on offense, have Draymond's able to thread the needle on some passes and direct traffic. He's really good at that. And that's a part of Mogbo's game that I think he could develop into as well.
Yeah, he's like a lob threat. He's like a rim kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like not as much as another player that we will talk about, but he is one of those kind of guys. And I do love, okay, off script, I'm going to ask you straight up, coach to coach. If you have your star player and you end up drafting his best friend to come and play, do you not see that putting, as a coach, sitting there watching, maybe seeing your star player helping this young guy come up, and you don't have to put too much emphasis, too much effort into this guy because you know that star player, as his boy, is going to whoop his ass and say, yo, man, you ain't doing what you got to do. Come on, step it up, right? Right? As you as a coach, I know, I've seen it, I've had it, I'm pretty sure you've had it. Is that not beneficial towards the Toronto Raptors currently?
It can be if that's part of their relationship. And maybe it is, maybe it's not, I'm not sure. But at the same time, probably Mogbo can come in with a little bit more familiarity with the Raptors and with his relationship with Scotty, like what to expect, how they're going to play, what sets they're going to run, defensive assignments. I would think that things like that would be a bit easier for him. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you do draft the best player at that spot, the best talent. And I will say this, I think Mogbo has a skill set that this team could use. I remember last year, training camp, Darko said, let's make Precious Achiuwa an offensive hub. Me being a Precious fan at that time of what his skill set could be, I was like, this is a bad take. That's not, you're hurting Precious. He's not an offensive hub. He never has been. Now, he said that, next year we're going to have the second unit, we're going to have Mogbo, we're going to run some of the offense through Mogbo in terms of what he could do out of the high post. Okay, you got me there. I can support that. So, because a lot of people I read online like, oh, maybe Mobo's a little bit like Precious. I don't see that at all. They have two totally different games. I think what Mobo can do offensively is just what something different than what Precious does. Defensively, Precious might be more advanced right now, but in time, maybe Mobo, once he gets used to the NBA, can become close to what Precious is or the equivalent of.
Okay. Now, let's keep going on with that second round. Jamal Shead. Bro. 6-foot guard. Senior, man. He's 22 years old. That guy's perimeter defense is off the chain. What do you think he brings to the Raptors?
Love the pick. I loved it. And I didn't know if they would go down that route of taking a small guard like him, quite frankly, in the second round. But when they acquired the pick from Sacramento, this team wants to get better on their perimeter defense. You saw how bad it was last year. We were basically down in the bottom of defense. And quite frankly, I don't think this coaching staff emphasizes defense as much as it does offense.
Yeah,
But
start
I
from the
think
bottom, now they're there. Okay.
And then Jamal Shead, though, National Defensive Player of the Year. You bring a guard in. To me, he reminds me of a hybrid. I mentioned this to Beyond as well. He reminds me a little bit of Davion Mitchell, who is now on the team, and he's got a little bit of Ty Lawson to him, for one of our North Carolina guards, small guards who was in the league. He was a pretty good player. Jamal Shead, man, I love his compete. I love the way he fights over screens. I love how he gets to the passing lanes. He just has an intensity about him that we don't have on this team. And him being about 22 years old, he's not 18. When you're 22, you see the game differently than you do when you're 18 or 19. Well, I guess that too. But Jamal Shead, I love this pick. This is a good value pick, I think. And he's going to compete for those backup point guard minutes. I do think it's Davion Mitchell's, but this guy, he's a computer. And I think he's going to be a good player to have on the team.
I'm so amped to see him come in there. I'm surprised that he went that low in the draft. And the Raptors just like snagged him up. And they're like, yo, we're taking this guy no matter what. I'm pretty sure there's not an official plan set in place for him. Like you and I, coach to coach, we will say like, there probably wasn't, but like you said, talent. If it's available, get it. Right?
Well, I think to your point, and it's an interesting point, I think the Raptors went in with a theme into the draft saying, we want to draft a specific type of player, a player with high compete level, a demeanor in which you don't have to really motivate them. They're self-motivated to get up and go. And I think they stuck to that theme throughout this draft. Mogbo, high motor, good energy. Shead, you don't have to motivate him. He's a computer. Jacoby Walter only played a year at Baylor, but he did everything. He was number one option. I think he was guarding the best player many nights. He's a computer. So I think that was kind of their theme, is draft players with a certain type of mentality where they want to go out and compete each and every game. And I'm not saying the others don't, but these guys just have a way of just getting after it.
Not just mentality, but positionally. Now, us as coaches, Ulrich Chomche. Yeah, I said that right. It's not Comanche, as some of you people have been saying on TV. I hate that.
I think it's Chomche. I think it's
Chomche.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I think that's what I heard.
Whatever. He can have a symbol like Prince. I don't care. Okay. But the Raptors finally drafted somebody big to be down there. I seen he's been listed at 6'10 or 6'11. Doesn't matter. I don't care. A guy that's that size that can shoot the three Come on. And he's a rim rocker, right? And he protects the rim. I love it. What do you think he brings to the Raptors?
So back in April, and people who follow me can go and check this, I had shared a video of this kid in the NBA Africa Academy program. And I'm like, who is this guy? He moves well. He's got great size for an 18-year-old. Not many 18-year-olds on the planet who are 6'10", 240 can run like him. There's not too many of them. I'll just put it that way. And form looks good. Elbow to wrist mechanics.
Yep.
Looks like he's a good athlete. It's like he's got some rim protection potential. I was like, man, this kid is pretty good. And then I saw him at it was the World Games, like the USA plays the World. I can't remember what they're called. Again, I apologize to our audience, but he struggled in that, but he made some decent passes out of the post, and he's got pretty good underrated vision as well. I am so glad the Raptors took him with the 57th pick. This kid is 18 years old. He won't be 19 until the end of December, I think, of this year.
Yeah, the youngest player in the draft.
And he's the youngest player in the draft. And once again, 6'10", 240, you can't teach that. Physically, I think he's ready for the NBA. But how he processes the NBA, how he catches up to speed of the NBA, and his skill development, that needs work. He's raw right now. And he's basically, I'm taking a guess here, he's reacting on instinct, as most raw players do, with the instruction that he's had. It's not NBA instruction. So I'm glad that they took a chance on him. I did not have him, going like 31. I thought that was just too high for him. And maybe even going back to college or going to college in the US would have been a good stepping stone for him. But I'm glad that he kind of stuck in the draft, and the Raptors are taking a chance on him because now you bring them through their development program. Some people online were trying to use this comparison to Bruno when we took him back in 2014. A little different. The 905 really wasn't around. It's not the program that it is today. Bruno also had first round expectations. This kid's the 57th overall pick in the draft. You need 2 years with him for him to develop and to maybe one day become a rotation player. But I think he does have the upside and the talent to do so if he hits his developmental strides, in which I think that he can. I've seen a lot from him in the summer league so far that shows me, okay, he's a worker. He runs the floor the best I've probably seen a Raptor player. He was number one in the combine, a 3/4 sprint.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
someone 6'10", 240. So, he's a very good athlete.
You know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving it that the Raptors got him. And let me say this. Let me put this out there for you, okay? There is no nepotism, despite the fact that he has a relationship with Masai, because of what Masai has done out there in Africa, which is amazing, okay? It's beautiful, okay? Siakam is his favorite player of all time. The Raptors is his favorite team, he said. And he did say that he wants to be something to help younger kids in Africa when it comes to the growth of the game, okay? And I think that's absolutely an amazing, like we were just saying, mentality. I think that's an amazing mentality to have because now he wants to get the job done. He wants to do it. He wants to prove himself. He wants to be like Siakam. He wants kids in Africa to play ball. He wants to play the game. He wants to make Masai happy. He wants to bring a chip here to Toronto. Can you argue any of that? No, none of y'all can't. Okay? And Mogbo, yeah, no nepotism there. Ronnie James. Okay? No nepotism up here in Toronto. All these were smart, logical decisions for the future of the Toronto Raptors. Do you agree, Coach?
I think they made some good picks. I think what I like most about all four of these picks is the mentality of the players they selected. Chomche is their project, quite honestly. But the three that they did take, the Walter, Mogbo, and Shead, I think they're ready to step in and be part of that 13, 14-man roster right now with their compete level, with how they practice. And I'm content with the picks for sure because I see what they were the theme, or I think I see the theme that they were trying to go with selecting these players.
Are those your final thoughts, Coach? I know you got to get out of here. You're busy. You're a busy man. Busy man. He took the time out of his day for you guys out here. Okay, so appreciate the coach. Those your final thoughts, my friend?
I think those would probably be my final thoughts. Overall, I'm glad these guys are getting an opportunity to play in summer league. I want to give Jama uh, kudos to him for his rotations and him playing Chomche as much as he has. I've been tweeting reps, reps, reps. Give him reps. And I feel like all these guys are getting a good number of reps, and I applaud the job that he's doing so far. Good for Jama.
Shout out to my friend from high school, Jama. Yeah, man, he's doing it big.
Future NBA coach, man.
Yeah, I told you, man. I told him that when we were in grade 9. I
Head
told him he's going to
coach.
be an NBA coach. I
One of
told
the
him
one
that
of
straight
the,
to his face.
yeah, I think he's got an NBA head coaching job in his future.
Yep. Well, he's already got a ring. I don't know. Did he get the ring with Golden State?
I think he did. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, so he knows what he's doing. And plus,
he knows
kudos
what
to
he's doing.
Dama, my boy Styles, my next boy. You all know who you are. When y'all went into China and helped set up camps out there in the early 2000s, kudos to you guys for expanding the game globally. Coach, I guess that's it for it. I know you got to skedaddle. Um, so on behalf of myself, the one and only, the coach, Tim Roach, and everybody out there, the To The Point family, and thank you, Freak Nation, for your spike in my subs and views. It's much appreciated. We appreciate it. And my man, Arturus, y'all need production work? Holla at your boy. All right. Time
He's
difference though.
good.
You gotta learn to speak Lithuanian. But he'll holla at you. So on that note, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and